Everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Volunteer Center's 5th Annual Champions of Change. My name is Sue Millen, and I have the privilege of serving as the director for the Volunteer Center here in Washington County. We're so excited to be celebrating with you all tonight. The Volunteer Center has been empowering people for social good since 1983. Is that right, Sharon? In the last few years, we have really challenged ourselves to step up and stand out in engaging today's volunteers. Beyond our day-to-day work as a collective impact organization connecting volunteers with over 50 local nonprofits, you might see us driving around town in the Do Good bus, inspiring people to give the rich experience of volunteering a try. You'll see us volunteering side by side with youth at Camp Superhero. Together, we're showing the next generation that you can change the world when you decide to act and to care. And hopefully, we've welcomed you through our doors at the Hub, where we're working to inspire change and to strengthen our community one coffee cup at a time. Mel, would you roll the video, please?
That's cool.
Thank Todd Pretry of Pre-Pro Media for putting that together for us. He couldn't join us as he's out in another part of the country putting together videos for really important people. So we thank him for his efforts. You know, every year in my role at the Volunteer Center, I think that's it. I've seen it all. I'm convinced that I've met every kind person and experienced every act of generosity that you could possibly imagine. And then Champions of Change rolls around, and I get to be inspired by something brand new all over again. If I could ask everyone who is nominated this year to please stand up. Thank you all for finding the time to do what you do. We are really looking forward to celebrating your stories tonight. Say, Michelle asked me to mention this. There are 12 mugs left over there. In that mug, so a mug is a $9.95 value, and in that mug you are going to find a gift card from $5 to $125. There are also necklaces in there that were made especially for us through Kane & Kane Jewelers. They have a jeweler who made them for us. They're called Three Wishes. And I heard that there was one left. So, 1 in 12 or 1 in 13 is a pretty good odds in case you're interested. Before we hand it over to our board president, I really do just need to thank some important people here tonight. And one is our presenting sponsor, Deltic Events, for making this celebration possible and truly believing wholeheartedly in the power of volunteering You guys believed in us before we even believed in ourselves, so thank you very much. To our gracious hosts, West Bend Mutual, for sharing this wonderful space and for serving up this amazing meal. We thank you. To all of the award sponsors for their continued support. And last but not certainly not least, the Volunteer Center staff, Board of Directors, Advisory Team, Do Good Bus, and Hub volunteers. They are truly the best group of individuals I have ever worked with. Thank you. And with that, I welcome our board president, Jeff Schakowsky, to share with us.
Thank you, Sue. Sue shared with me this morning a quote. The measure of life is not its duration, but its donation. That was written by one of the nominators in this room today. Makes a lot of sense to me. Donation of wealth, but then also the donation of time. If you look around your tables tonight, you look back and forth, this is what makes Washington County and West Bend the great communities they are, because 99.9% of the people that are in this room right now volunteer every week. I would like to thank all the people that came tonight to support this event. This room, the volunteering is infectious. The more you volunteer, the more you touch your spouse, your kids with volunteerism, the more it spreads, and it spread through Washington County. To all the nominees tonight, congratulations. I wish you good luck, but you're all winners anyways. Now, I would like to I have the pleasure to introduce Emmy Award-winning TV reporter, talk show host, motivational speaker, and community volunteer, Katrina Craven.
All right, TV host who needs to get her script right. Thank you, Sue and Jeff, and welcome to everybody. Let's hear it for this celebration. Tonight, we're going to hear the stories of true champions. They are everyday people, volunteering and accomplishing extraordinary things right here in this community. For those of you who are new to this event, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how the heart of Champions of Change and how tonight's celebration is going to work. Every year in the spring, the Volunteer Center asks the general public to recognize extraordinary volunteers. The nominations received are diverse and they are powerful. And luckily, I don't have to pick the winners. A group of community leaders has a difficult task of selecting one winner in 8 award categories, and each winner announced this evening is going to be awarded a $500 donation for their favorite local nonprofit or cause. Isn't that amazing? Thank you to the award sponsors for making this generous donation possible. The impact of Champion of Change goes far beyond our time together tonight. I want to take a moment and say thank you to every nominee in this room. I've met a lot of incredible people, and you are all amazing. If you don't win an award this evening, I can guarantee you that your story has moved me, and it's going to continue to inspire others. If you are an award winner tonight, congratulations. When we announce your name, we want you to join me on stage with the award sponsor. You're going to be invited to share a few words. Did anyone tell you that? No? Everyone now is like, oh wait, I don't know if I want to win. You're going to share a few words, and afterwards you're going to step off to the right of the stage here to take a photo. And with that, let's get this celebration started. I welcome Beth Fellens from the Prescott Family Foundation to announce tonight's Power of One award winner, This recognition celebrates an individual who has single-handedly orchestrated change through their volunteer efforts. Beth, come on up.
On behalf of the Prescott Family Foundation, I'm pleased to present the Power of One Award to Dr. Bob Gibson.
I want to tell you a little bit about him. Dr. Gibson is a highly regarded physician with Froedtert in the Medical College of Wisconsin St. Joseph's Hospital. He's been recognized tonight for his volunteerism with the Albrecht Free Clinic since 1997, just 1 year after the clinic opened its doors. Dr. Gibson has served in a leadership position as the medical director for the past 13 years, leading the clinic through several moves and streamlining the care for patients with chronic health concerns regardless of their financial status. And most recently, he has been at the front line serving and addressing the needs of the uninsured suffering from the opiate addictions. Congratulations to Dr. Gibson. Do you want to tell us who you're donating your $500?
I think it'll go to the Albrecht Free. I'm an old Boy Scout, so I came prepared. This is an incredible honor. I look out and I see so many deserving individuals and organizations here tonight. I am truly humbled. Thank you, Volunteer Center of Washington County. For those of you who haven't met me, as was pointed out, I've been a medical director at the Albrecht Free Clinic for the last 13 years. I am part of a large group of volunteers who, along with our employees and donors, make this clinic work. Our executive director, Ruth Engel. Ruth, put down your phone for a second. She's the captain of the ship. Thank you for the nomination. Another one of our volunteers, Barbara Prostis, is a nominee also, is here tonight. She's a phenomenal translator. She puts up with me in the exam rooms. She's a volunteer. Thanks for all you do, Barbara. 25 years ago, a free clinic was the dream of Dr. James Albrecht to serve Washington County's medically underserved. It became a reality. Over the last decade, we've expanded our services. What was initially a 2-night-a-week walk-in acute care clinic in borrowed space has evolved into owning our own building, being open Monday through Friday, expanding our medical services to acute and chronic care, expanding our mental health services, opening an in-house dental service with 3 full rooms, and over the last 2 years in collaboration with Elevate and Washington County Judicial System, we have started a program to help with the opioid abuse disorders. None of this would be possible without the support of our generous donors, the health systems, Froedtert and Aurora, and of course, our great volunteers. Without our volunteers, which number in the hundreds, our doors would close. And of course, my main supporters here tonight, my wife Sherry, for 35 years. That award belongs to all of us who do these jobs day in and day out. Remember, all of us can make a difference. Every day, everything you do can and does make a difference. If you're looking for a leader, go home and look in the mirror. Never forget, to be human is to reach out and help those less fortunate than yourselves. Thank you again, Volunteer Center of Washington.
Thank you so much. Just a side note here, my grandmother-in-law is 97. Dr. Gibson was her doctor, and she said, "Doctor, you're so good, I want to retire before you do." And she did. Lived a wonderful life. I'm also here to tell you that Dr. Gibson is celebrating his retirement. Congratulations, and thank you for being a true champion of change. Our next award, Team Spirit, is sponsored by Sharon Ziegler. Here to present the award is Sharon herself. The award recognizes a group that demonstrates leadership, teamwork, and a commitment to volunteerism. Let's hear it for Sharon.
I wish all of you had an opportunity to stand where I'm standing and look out at all the faces of wonderful volunteers. And you give so much back to each and every community that you represent. And I've always said the best exercise that anybody can do is to bend down and lift someone up. And you do that every day. So, thank you. A song comes to mind, not gonna sing. When I look at this, and it's called Celebration Time, Come On. So, I just tell you that we are celebrating each and every one of you. And tonight's a great night to say thank you. Now, on with team spirit. And I think you'd like to know that congratulations go tonight to the Slinger High School Student Council. Schwab and Amy Kelleher. I think that as the members come up, I'd like to tell you a little bit about them. This group of incredible young doers invest their time and their talents and kindness into their community. They meet and plan year-round, not just during the school year. They host events like the annual Fall Garden Yard Cleanup and a holiday dinner for senior citizens. They've donated 5,500 items to the Slinger School Pantry, 150 coats to the Salvation Army, toys for the Children's Hospital, and supplies for Carl's Place in Slinger, among others. Most importantly, they inspire Slinger staff and their fellow students to get involved and be charitable, and guess what? Have fun doing it. So we are looking tonight at the future volunteers for the next generation, and they've already started off with a huge bang. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Jane Schaub. I have been the president of this past year's council. Up with me, I have some of our council members, including Taylor Lumens, who will be our next year's president. I would like to say that our donation will be going towards Teresa's Closet, which is a nonprofit that we do a lot of our events for throughout the year that gives helps out families in the Slinger community, from things from paying electric bills to buying school supplies for kids that can't afford them. So I would like to also give a big thanks to our advisor, Mrs. Kelleher, who isn't here tonight because she decided to give up her ticket for another member to be able to come. So she really, our council couldn't do any of what it does without her. She's a wonderful lady and so selfless, does everything for her students and for us and for her community. So I'd like to just say that our student council, for me, it's personally been, I think it fosters in students a love for helping out their community. We really see through our events such as the senior citizen dinner that we do, just the effect that you have, the impact that you can have on people, on just giving a little bit of your time to people and just really see what you can do for others. So, and I'd like to give a thanks to the Volunteer Center. I've volunteered with the Hub a few times, and it's just such an incredible group of people, and the whole Volunteer Center is an amazing group of people, so I'd like to thank them so much.
right, but it's really the right of the stage. So that's on me. And let's hear it from Sharon, because don't you think, if I can't make it back next year, Sharon can MC. She's got more energy. I love it. Thank you to the Slinger High School Students Council for inspiring by example. Our next award is the Emerging Leader Award presented by Mike Mullman from Schreiber Foods. The award recognizes a volunteer who has leadership and they have demonstrated growth and ongoing commitment. Let's hear it for Mike.
Good evening. I say each year when I go up here how awesome it is and how impressed I am of Washington County. I don't live in the county. I work here in the county for the last 14 years now. And my wife has said if you ever would live in a town, it would be West Penn. And she said that each year. We say that each time. You're wonderful people and so impressive. But this is not about how I feel. It's about people that are nominated and what you all do, which is just tremendous. So I want to thank you for all of the emerging leaders that were nominated in this room tonight. And magnetic leaders, whether you're 15 or 85, we need you all. And in this case, we're looking at the emerging ones. And so they can share things that are a benefit to everybody around them. And this is especially true of our Emerging Leader Award winner tonight, Peter Kapler. He was nominated by Romero Pez. Now, Peter, as he comes up, when I read his bio, I was awed. This young man has done so many things. He's active in so many things. There's a lot of people that have a passion and they do wonderful. But this guy really spreads himself out. And when he serves on numerous boards and committees, not only in West Bend but around the area, Washington County, the Caregiver Coalition, the West Bend Senior Center, and some of you have worked with him. He has a career as a financial advisor with Private Financial, or many of his volunteer roles. And you always know that Peter always goes over and above, beyond the task at hand. So it's not just being on a board that you do this, you do that. He's rolling up his sleeves and he's doing it. And he's also a foster parent, he's a connector, and he's true emerging leader. Congratulations, Peter. What would you like to say?
I am truly humbled to stand here on the stage before you tonight. I am not a former Boy Scout. And looking at the list of people of potential, I didn't put a lot of time and investment into writing a speech because there are so many amazing people in this room. So to receive this tonight is extremely humbling. I want to thank my wife, who can't be here tonight. She's attending 8th grade graduation at Good Shepherd, where she is an educator. She stands by me with a lot of this volunteering. Puts up with me being out in the community far too often, dragging our kids around to so many different events. So she's a truly remarkable woman who has supported me all along the way. Want to appreciate all the great volunteers that I've worked side by side with, and so many great worthy organizations to be able to give back to. The organization that I'm going to choose for tonight is actually the Senior Center, who have recently joined their board, and we'll be giving the $500 back to them and continue supporting all the wonderful work that the Senior Center does. So thank you everyone for
A leader who is willing to stick with a bold course of action, and volunteering is certainly bold. Takes a step away from being yourself when, for most of us, ask a TV person, it's the easiest place for us to be. Congratulations to Peter. It is time to recognize a special group of people, those that took the time out of their busy schedules to share the incredible stories that we are celebrating tonight. Thanks to the employees of Baird Financial Advisors, the Volunteer Center is able to offer $100 donations to nominators. 4 winners have already been drawn and notified. Mike Nowak, from Baird is going to draw the last winner. Mike, come on up. And we have the bucket here. Do you want me to hold it so I can verify it? We don't have any contact 6 issues here. I'd hate to chase you down the street. Yeah.
The winner is.
And the winner is
Carla Dane.
Carla Dane. Come on up. Carla? Not here. So we should put her back in the bucket? Oh, yeah, I'm like, let's go with the crowd mentality. Yes. Do I hear yes? Oh, she still wins. Okay, Sue trumps all of us. Let's not forget. Terrific. Terrific. Okay, our next recognition is the SOAR 55. It is presented by Eliana Williams from Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. Yes. Let's give it up for her. I was supposed to do the head roll. Eliana. This award celebrates an inspiring individual 55 or better whose volunteer achievements have contributed significantly to the quality of life in this community. Here you go.
Thank you to my sister from another mister. So I want to say thank you, Sue. Thank you for being my new email BFF. I love you. I really do. You know, guys, so not only looking in the room, looking at everyone, this was the most good emotional, good inspiring, best meeting I ever been to in the last 5 years, probably. All of you are inspirational, all the nominees, all the stories. This is a wonderful community, and this really speaks to community. So I'm proud to be up here. I'm proud to share in this, and that we're able to sponsor an award tonight for Soaring 55. And our award goes to Heidi Anderson. I'd like to just give a little background. Heidi has been volunteering for Casa Guadalupe Education Center since 2015 and has been integral in improving the health of the Hispanic community in Washington County. She's coordinated a variety of health education sessions around the topics of heart, breast health, diabetes prevention, mental wellness, and more. With her guidance, Casa Guadalupe started its first family wellness class in 2018. That deserves a round of applause. Motivates families to make healthy choices together. Heidi is an enthusiastic, positive volunteer that truly cares for the health and well-being of her community. Thank you, Heidi. I have to say something personal. So when I looked at this story, I shared with the committee that I helped mentor a body of nurses in Central Milwaukee, nursing students, from a business aspect. And one of the papers that was written was about deficiencies in women's health and the Hispanic community. And it touched my heart, and I appreciate everything you do. And talking about empowering communities and families, we love you. You deserve this. Come on, Heidi.
My joke always at Casa Guadalupe is that I speak German. But I truly love diversity, and I seek out diversity. I also love wellness and wellness education. And it was so much fun being with the people, and it was so dear and so open. And the other thing that I loved was I was trained in women's health, but we always invited the men to come and the children to come, and we had whole families. And I loved being with the little children. They were so precious. And Laura, I was trained in what was called the Grapevine Project, and it comes out of Well Women, Wisconsin. And Laura took it upon herself to translate every single unit. So we were able to do the units so that those that really had difficulty with English could understand. I also had written a curriculum called Fit Kids, Fit Families. And I was able to do that for children and families in Fortunately, some of the children understood the English, so I was able to teach it myself. But I so enjoyed being with all the families, and I thank you very much for this event.
Our next award is Rising Star. And I invite James Smozzle to the stage. James, come on up. He is representing the Kewaskum, Slinger, and West Bend school districts. The Rising Star recognizes an individual or group 21 and younger whose commitment to volunteerism has stood out and has inspired others. Let's hear it for James.
Thank you very much. It's my honor, privilege, I feel it's a blessing to be up in front of you to represent Kewaskum, Slinger, and West Bend School District. Don Kierkegaard and Darren Sievers from Slinger and West Bend are here also, and it's just been a wonderful opportunity to collaborate as school districts across the county. So I'm very humbled and thankful to be here. This award is very special. It's one because it recognizes our next generation of difference makers. I want to take a moment and thank every young person in this room that has been nominated tonight. You're all wonderful, you're all great, continue to keep up the great work. You are creating the change that we need to see in this world. Now, congratulations to this year's Rising Star, Ashley Trapp, nominated by Tyler Davis. Welcome Ashley onto the stage. I'll tell you a little bit about her. Ashley is an exceptional leader and is committed to serving others in the community. During her high school career, she has been involved in National Honor Society, Peers for Peers, student government, freshman mentors, FFA, and the list goes on. Her volunteer resume is equally impressive. Ashley helps coordinate the Travis Trapp Memorial Foundation in honor of her brother. She makes our world a better place by volunteering as an activities aide for the Samaritan Health Center. She's a stock rotator at the Kewaskum Food Pantry, and she is a mentor for the youth girls basketball team. I'm gonna go off script here for just a second because I've known Ashley for about 5 years, because it was 5 years ago when her brother died in a tragic car accident. And they started a memorial and they've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for kids. And she's been a big part of that along with her parents that are here tonight. And so it's with great humility, very humble, that I present this award to Ashley.
I would like to start saying that I'm honored to accept this award. I have previously lost my brother, as Mr. Schmazel has said. I also lost my childhood home in a house fire. When tragedy hits a person so hard, you start to realize the importance of what life and others mean to you. To me, volunteering is not about the paycheck. It's about making connections with people that are at a hardship or just needing a friend at a time. Almost 5 years ago, I started a memorial fund in memory of my brother with the help of my parents, Randy and Jessica, and I could not do it without them. We have successfully have held 5 benefits, and in a few weeks, we'll be holding our first annual memorial ride in memory of him and his best friend. Over the past few years, we have given out over $75,000, ranging from scholarships to nonprofits, and I have not done it, or I could have not done it without the support of my family and the best brother ever. He may not be here with me physically, but I always have a picture with him, like wherever I go, whatever I do. As I'm about to walk out the doors in less than 24 hours from now, I would like to thank my school for nominating me for this award and supporting me in all that I have chosen to do in the last 4 years. I have truly appreciated every second of it. I would also like to thank my parents one more time and the rest of my family for the endless amount of support that they have given me every day. Volunteers necessarily don't have the time, but they have the heart. And I would like to thank everyone that is here. You all are amazing, and I love you all. And also, I'm donating my $500 to the Shining Stars. It is an organization through Kewaskum and Campbellsport High School of special needs children that dance and just have a good time, and they really enjoy it. It makes me happy, and we've donated to them previously, and that's where I'm deciding to give my money to.
Can we all just say a collective whoa? I mean, whoa. You are an inspiration to us all, Ashley. That is unbelievable. Our next award is the Real Hero Award. It is presented by Chris Zygart from the West Bend Mutual. Chris Zygart. I got it. I know. You gotta say the W, Katrina. Say the W. This award recognizes a group of volunteers who enhance and promote the community through caring actions and outstanding acts of humanitarianism.
Thanks, Katrina, and good evening, everyone. Well, on behalf of the entire West Bend Mutual Insurance Company team, allow me to welcome you to the Prairie Center and this fantastic event. You know, I think you'll agree with me that so much of the news that we hear today, although it's important, often has a negative theme. And isn't it really refreshing to be surrounded by community members and friends hearing about these incredible, positive examples of leadership and heroism? The event is really special. And we're in the company of many heroes tonight. And to all of you, thank you for making our community a stronger place. Tonight, I'm pleased to recognize a group that also helps our community to be a safer place. So I'd like to invite up our real heroes, the West Bend Crime Prevention Patrol. Come on up to the stage, please. Now, as these folks come up, let me tell you a little bit about their work. The West Bend Crime Prevention Patrol provides support to the West Bend Police Department during community events like parades, Music on Main, the Downtown West Bend Concourse Bike Race, and believe me, those are only a few examples. The group has 13 members. Each year they donate over 1,300 hours throughout the year. Because many community events take place on holidays or on weekends, that means these folks spend that time away from their families so that we in our community can be a safer place. And they're often the first ones to arrive and the last ones to leave. So congratulations to the West Bend Crime Prevention Patrol. Thanks for everything you do.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm kind of humbled at this, almost embarrassed, you know, to see all of the wonderful people that have gotten awards. And, you know, I guess we're a little bit different. We do really love our city. We do what we do. But the people behind me, I have 4 of my members. I'm the captain. And between the 5 of us just standing up here, we have close to 125 years of experience. So, just looking out upon the room here, I think we all realize how difficult it is to get volunteers. That's one of our biggest issues. So if you know of anybody that wants to join our crime prevention, let us know. But again, want to thank you for this honor. As far as where the money's going to go, I'm not quite sure, but I have a pretty good feeling we'll probably give it to the Shop with a Cop program.
We'll get a nice photo of you all. that energy going, get the sugar going. All right, our next is the Community Partner Award. How many of you have your programs out? You're going through it with me. You good? You got it? All right. Presented by Haley Ninonen. You got it. I got it. With Aurora Healthcare. This award recognizes a business that has prioritized volunteerism and in doing so has made our community a better place to live. Let's give it up for Haley.
I wanted to say a personal congratulations to Heidi Anderson. Heidi was a cherished member of the Aurora Healthcare family prior to her retirement. When I came to Aurora, I came into a brand new department and Heidi was there. She encouraged me, she dreamed with me, and the programs that she built are still there today. So Heidi, I appreciate you so much. Okay. On behalf of Aurora Healthcare, congratulations to our Community Partner Award winner, HGA Architects and Engineers. To civic engagement, HGA invests their time, resources, and expertise to create positive local impact. Their community action team was instrumental in the engineering and design of the Hub Social Good Brews. And if you haven't been there, you gotta go. It's great. Together, they donated over 350 hours conceptualizing, designing, securing vendor donations, and working with city inspectors to make this community gathering space a reality. And when the doors of the coffee shop opened, they came back and asked what more they could do. And we really think that is a true definition of a community partner. Congratulations, HGA.
Thank you very much. I would like Dr. Gibson. I too am a Boy Scout. I didn't finish. So I did my notes on a bus ride back from a field trip today, so I don't know if I'll be able to recognize these. So I think one thing I do want to say, and this is from everybody on our team here, it is so very humbling to be in the presence of everybody here. As we were talking at our table, we were really just doing our job, is kind of what it felt like. And we're in the presence of champions, and we are just very humble to be here. But thank you very much. So one thing I do want to say is this whole thing started by happenstance with a volunteer opportunity on the Do Good bus, where I had personally met Sue Millen volunteering for a completely different event, and we got talking, and she had said, "Hey, what do you do?" I said, "Oh, I work for HGA, we had done MOA," and she was like, "Oh yeah, we're familiar with that. I've got an idea. Let me pass it by you," and it was the idea for the Hub. And I'll tell you what, it was so exciting to hear her energy, and when we had other people up here talking about being infectious and volunteering being infectious. It was like she had given me a virus that was just like, the time, and Dr. Gibson probably knows, you have to tell somebody it's not a bacteria. Can't give you an antibiotic, you're going to have to wait this one out. So, and again, this clearly isn't on whatever I wrote here. But the energy that she gave me, I took back to our team, and I'll tell you what, one big thing is the fact that our organization is so incredible because they empower us, they empower our entire team, everybody in our organization to take part in our community action program. And there's something amazing when you can empower other people to volunteer and to give of yourself. It just is, it's passing that wonderful feeling. And thinking of like infectious volunteering, everybody who's here, thought was going through my head, like how many of us are going to be waiting here to help out putting chairs away or rolling the tables away? Because that's just how everybody is who volunteers. You just get that feeling like, okay, hey, can I help out with something? But I think the one amazing thing with our entire team is that we all never stopped. And we were saying, you know, we do our job, and this is what it was, but we knew that this vision for the hub could completely change the organization for the Volunteer Center, for the community, and for all of the partner organizations that the Volunteer Center of Washington County serves. So we had that commitment, we had that determination to just follow this project through, and it is so exciting when you can come into this coffee shop, and it's like the best cool little coffee shop in town, and you're like, wow, when you know the story behind it, it really is inspiring. So it is really heartwarming to just be in the presence of everybody here, and because none of us really talked about what we're going to do with the donation. I don't even know what that's going to happen, but I do think one really good thing we could do, and I could be vetoed, so that may happen, but I think a donation to the Do Good Bus would be perfect, because that is one program that we still have yet to help out the Volunteer Center for. Exciting new experience, and then instead of just riding on a bus. So thank you very much, and thank you for everybody for everything you did for our community. Thank you.
I think it's so cute that he gives a hug to the woman he just said had an infection. Or something like that. We have to take a moment to thank the selection committee that tackled the tough job of selecting this year's champions of change. Would the selection committee please stand right now? We want to give you a round of applause. Selection committee, on your feet. It is time to move into our final award of the evening. This award is selected by our judges from all the nominations submitted this year as worthy of additional recognition. Here to tell you about tonight's recipient, we know that Delta Defense has been the primary sponsor of this, and none other than Sten Schmidt is giving out this award. Come on, Sten!
Good evening. I'm so honored to announce the 2019 Judge's Choice, Varshana Simon. As Varshana joins me on stage, I'll tell you why she's so deserving of this recognition. Varshana is a parent volunteer that recognized the need to acknowledge the growing diversity at West Bend High School. She began the Multicultural Club to celebrate and learn about the strengths in our cultural, racial, and ethnic differences. Her club has made phenomenal community connections with groups like Cedar Communities Diversity Group, which is also bridging generational divides. Varshana co-founded West Bend High School's Black History Month celebration. She is unafraid and unapologetic when it comes to doing good and uplifting children in our community. Thank you, Varshana, for inspiring everyone around you to be bold, vocal, present, and courageous. Varshana, would you like to say a few words?
I had a special request to keep this short. So thank you. Thank you to Mrs. Becker as well and everyone else here. The food was amazing. Everyone looks cute. Good night.
I am gonna learn from that. When you can just say, everyone looks good and the food was great. That's great. Well, thank you all for celebrating with us this evening. I hope that you're feeling as inspired as I do, because man, what an evening. I have just a few housekeeping items before Sue's gonna come back up here. Before we end tonight, a quick shout out to the Kohl's Cares volunteers who helped make this event run so smoothly. They're in the back. They're gonna be standing at the doors. They're gonna be collecting all your name badges on the way out. Please return them because we're gonna reuse them next year, right? Money is important. To all the winners and to all the nominees, would you please join us on stage? We're going to take a group photo, and let's hear it for Sue Millen. Sue, come on up.
There's just one last champion in the room that I would like to call to the stage. She happens to have worked for the Volunteer Center for the past 10 years. She's celebrating a 10-year anniversary this year. Melanie, could you come from behind the screen and show your face? Talk about Melanie for the next 3 days, but I'm going to ask her to share her story with you because she started as a very young girl working with the Volunteer Center, and she tells it much better than I do.
Nothing like being on the spot from hiding behind the curtains. Like Sue mentioned, I started at the Volunteer Center 10 years ago this summer in June. But I like to say I really started a lot longer ago than that. When I was about 12 years old, in 6th grade at Holy Angels School here in West Bend, someone from the Volunteer Center came and spoke to our class about volunteering. And at that time, the Volunteer Center was right down the street from Holy Angels. And I thought, well, I can do that after school a few days. Otherwise, my friends and I just hung out at Saint somewhere, like we were on the cast of Friends, and that's what we did. So we might as well go next door and do something while we're there. All throughout middle school and high school, I volunteered at numerous places throughout Washington County. But my main one was the Family Center of Washington County. And I just carried that with me as I went off to college at the University of Minnesota. And in my mid-20s, found myself back in West Bend, hoping to break into the nonprofit world. But there's always those job requirements that say experience preferred or required, and I didn't really have any. And there was an AmeriCorps position at the Volunteer Center, which is kind of akin to the Peace Corps, but domestically you stay and you get matched with a nonprofit. I also met a boy around that time, my husband Kevin, and he thought I was going to move away, and I was like, well, if I do this AmeriCorps thing, I'm guaranteed to stay here for a year. 10 years later, we're married and we're still here, and I've been along for this crazy ride at the Volunteer Center through about 5 different buildings and just incredible programs. And it's still my passion to help inspire other middle school and high school students to give back in any way they can. So that's my story.
Melanie has held probably almost every job, I know you have, almost every job at the Volunteer Center. She is currently the Director of Programming, in charge of the Do Good Bus and so many other things. I don't know what we would do without you guys. So with that, I think we'll close this lovely evening. Thank you everyone for coming. We hope you have a great night. Be safe and do good.